Richard Gere, let's type him, because watching him, I was like, okay, what kind of function is that? Making Tibet and Palestine related. What kind of stacking is this? So let's have a deep dive on his MBTI, cognitive function stack, and objective personality type. First of all, this is how he looks through the decades. Always the same style. That also tells me something. Let's see, let's start with a vibe check. Why is he always on the right side of the history? That's what we're gonna be looking at.
Hello, London! Hello, London! What an incredible feeling here in this house. You know, the last time I was in Wembley, before most of you were born, the last time I was here, I was on stage, and I introduced Dire Straits at the concerts for Nelson Mandela. Wow! Wow! For Nelson Mandela! But I think it's only right that the second time I come, it's for our Palestinian brothers and sisters.
Okay, this was just a vibe check, and what I can say is that he's aware that he has a platform and he's using it for good. What I see is like this is taking of values, I believe. I think what we're looking at is FI, but let's see what kind of function stack is this. I already have a bias. I think he might be some sort of SF type. So valuing stuff in the physical world, that's what I see, and also like connection. You can see like, especially when in London, like he was on stage, like he knows how to connect to people. So let's see what's going on in his mind. So let's start with a big coin. Let's see if we can figure out observer versus decider, self versus tribe, or control versus chaos first.
Richard, how nice to see you again.
Always a pleasure to see you. Again, we were talking about the radiance of yourself.
Well, we're not here to talk about me in 4.5 minutes, Richard. We have
we'll
A,
jump
B,
right
C,
in
D, and E to get through
Okay,
here.
start with A.
Anyway, congratulations on Primal Fear.
Thank you.
Wonderful performance, Richard. Just great.
Thank you. Thank you
Among
very much.
your best,
Thanks.
I would say.
Great.
Yes. And I just was right in the plot the whole time, and I wanted to ask you, had you read the book before?
No.
Okay. Then the first time you read the screenplay, did it grab you? I mean, the twist ending and all of that.
Sure it did. Yeah, it's look, I had friends come and see this. I put a couple screenings together in New York, and I had some friends came who actually had read the script and still were taken, blown away by the ending.
You play a defense attorney. In your own description, you say, well, I'm one of those hotshot defense attorneys. Who was your role model?
All of them. It's kind of an iconic reality, you know, all these guys. But it's not even just lawyers. It's like anyone who's on top of their game and is in the public eye. You know, I don't know when this started, but everyone started wearing Armani at a certain point because they knew they were going to be on camera and looking good, getting haircuts. You know, it's like New York cops are all wearing Armani uniforms now and with SAG cards and getting boutique haircuts. I don't know, something happened about 10 years ago, maybe more, 15 years ago it started happening like that. Everyone became aware of themselves, that they were going to be on camera and working it. And I think lawyers obviously have a lot of fun with that.
And you have fun with it.
Personally, in my life, no. That's the irony here. This is the least fun thing for me in the world, is to be in front of these cameras.
But the Armani, you wear Armani.
Actually, I have nothing Armani on at the moment. Is this no? Nothing. Although I love Giorgio Armani.
Yeah, be careful.
I get free clothes, so yeah, I like George.
You turned down Pretty Women.
Who made this? Who made this dress you have on?
I couldn't tell you.
Come on. Let's look at the label.
We don't have time, Richard. You're giving me a bad time here.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Where are we on, C or D now?
For
I like making you laugh.
questions are these?
Okay, there were a lot in there. So let's dive in. First of all, really easy switch between self and tribe. That's what I see. That's what we call double deciding in objective personality. So this is making me think, is this an observer? Then I had far more proof for that. Who was your role model? She asks, and he's responding all of them. And all the time, if you listen to him, you can see all this categorical talk about people. And then you can see him talking and getting away with like not wearing anything Armani, but he's like getting paid by them or like getting free clothes, whatever it was. Like he's like saying the minute he says like he has nothing Armani on, he says that although I love Armani, like he has to make that switch right away. So that is pointing me to observer. Actually, I'm pretty sure at this point that he's an observer. In the beginning of the interview, he started with giving her a compliment. Is this his love language? That's what I was thinking. Or is this feeling about thinking? So he's just setting the mood, he's just trying to control the emotions. I'm not saying this is FE. I'm saying controlling the emotions, like setting up the mood. And he also has no problem taking the compliment. He's not deflecting or anything. That is pointing me to think self above tribe and most probably flex. It looks like it is quite balanced, but flex maybe. And he was really easily able to share how he felt about something, even though it was negative. He was like, no, this is the least fun thing for me to do. That is telling me that this probably is self-above tribe and feeling above thinking. So what we are looking at is really, in fact, FI, introverted feeling. There were a little bit more in that clip. So everyone started wearing Armani, he said. Like, why are you aware of this? Why are you aware of this brand? This is pointing me to some sort of SF type. So sensory and feeling. So popularity in objective personality. That's how we say it. Like aware of popularity, aware of the values in the physical world, like brands. And then we see him asking the interviewer who made this about her clothes or whatever it was. And then she doesn't want to answer. And he's not taking no for an answer. Oh, come on, or whatever. That's what sleep does. So that's why I'm leaning more on sleep above play. Because sleep can fake play all day. Like they can ask you questions all day if they are interested in you. If they would like to know something about you. It is not like play faking sleep. Play doesn't know their sleep. Like they do not have the reach to that. Because sleep lies deeper, they can fake play all day. If this were play above sleep, the conversation would have been different. So play would have no problem to ask another question or just answer her question or whatever. Sleep will just know this OI, this information is what IDI want to know, so that's why I'm gonna ask. And yeah, she wants to continue, and he's like, yeah, sure, and like what an observer does, self and tribe, like quite balanced, but he also wants to make a joke. So what does he do? He does what he wants to do, and how he says it, I love making you laugh. That part is telling me this is self-amusement, this is self-above tribe, and this is introverted feeling. Okay, let's see his functions, his cognitive function stack. If we can see like FI, I'm pretty sure, but let's see his observer axis as well, so that will be helpful. And we have something called animals in objective personality system. I'm just saying urges because like that's what they are. Play and sleep, energy related animals. Sleep is preserving the energy, play is expanding the energy. And we also have some info animals, and those are consume, taking in the information, and blast, producing the information. So let's see if we can find anything in this video clip regarding his functions or his urges.
To us, Richard is no stranger to India. Richard, you come to India quite often. What brings you to India?
Well, His Holiness, obviously. I've been a student of His Holiness Dalai Lama since I think like 82, 83, something like that. And some years I come here 2 or 3 times a year for teachings, whether it's here or in the south, in Mungad. We're in Dharamsala right now, by the way. You didn't say that. But
What has been your relationship with His Holiness, and in what ways has he impacted your life? 82 mean 13 years is a long time.
When you meet someone of that stature, I think it's impossible not to be affected on every possible level of your existence. Your mind and heart are totally transformed. I've heard rumors that there was someone who met His Holiness and was not transformed, but it must have been very long ago.
In what ways has he transformed you?
You know, Buddhism is I was just talking about it today, actually. There's I think especially the Gelugpa school of Tibetan Buddhism, which most of my teachers are Gelugpa teachers. There's a lot of work on the mind and intellectual play and the exploration of reality itself, using language and using pure logic, along with meditation and various techniques, from meditation on sutras to tantra. It's a gradual process of the mind being familiarized with another way of seeing things, and hopefully the correct way of seeing things, and becoming habituated with that, the same way that our minds in our normal state have been habituated with the wrong view. So it's a process that takes certainly lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes, but within a lifetime, one can see gradual change. And I think the gradual change is something you can trust. So we see a gradual opening of the heart, a kind of loosening of the bonds that create a kind of egocentricity towards altruism. You know, not that you can make that kind of giant leap, but you start to move towards that. And as you do move in that direction, as the arrow of your energy starts to move out, you feel a totally different environment inside and outside. You see how the world changes as your mind changes.
Okay, what we see. All I get is a sleep report. Don't know about you. All I see is introverted sensing. This SI happened. Then at this date, this SI happened, and whatever. Like it's like stacking sensory to make sense of sensory, something like that. SI is something like foreign to me. I have no other way to explain it yet. And another way of seeing things. This again reminds me of consume language. And he had a lot of random stories about himself as well, a lot of consume stories. And they were all in the hippie land, so we call that NF. All the energy, all the Zen message, this is all NF. So maybe this is NF consume then. And something that would just approve that. If you have NF consume, you have NT play. And that's what he actually said, intellectual play. NT, intellect, nerd stuff. That's what we call in objective personality. So there was also this weird language, exploration of reality by using language. That is very foreign to me, and I am lead SE, so I believe this should be, I mean, it's apparently sensory, but this should be SI, introverted sensing. So he has delta functions, that's what I can say. Then there was also this egocentricity towards altruism, self towards tribe, or flex towards friends. I just know that there's no friction in there. So between self and tribe or flex versus friends, it looks like they're pretty fairly balanced. That's what I read from that. And then he was talking about becoming habituated with something or gradual changes that you can trust. This is pointing me to sleep above play again and organize versus gather. So I think we are looking at an IJ because we already established that he was an observer. Interesting. Now, are we really looking at an IJ? Let's have another look at his strengths and weaknesses.
This was a test day for the film, and it was we were testing costumes, lenses, blah, blah. That isn't really what we were testing. What we were testing was, will the concept work of me being in New York, panhandling, and get footage without people stopping and freaking out or whatever they were going to do. I didn't know what they were going to do. We didn't know. So we set this up. The cameras were in, I don't know, Oren, you could actually describe this more than me.
He doesn't want to.
Cameras were in the Starbucks, and I walked out there with an AD who had like an FBI mic in his wrist, and he said, "Okay, we're rolling." I had my hat down, kind of. I was freaked out. I have to tell you the truth. I was freaked out being there, and my hat, kind of watch cap, was down over my eyes, and nothing happened. No one was paying it. Nobody was looking at me. Nobody. And I started to get more brave with it and looked around and started looking people in the eyes. No one would make eye contact with me. And I was in character, so there was some kind of a vibe coming off of me of homeless guy, panhandler, and the clothes fit the general idea of panhandler. And it was generally the idea of failure and misery. And I could see people from 2 blocks away. When I relaxed into this and I was really looking at people, I could see from 2 blocks away, they'd made a decision. Consciously, unconsciously, who knows?
They were going to walk in the other direction.
No, even if they walked right up to me.
Yes.
They wouldn't get too close, and they wouldn't make eye contact.
Right.
But I also see even more interesting than that, I could see all these plays of, why does this motherfucker make me feel guilty?
Right.
I'm not going to give him anything. Right. He's not going to make me give him any. Oh, fuck, I'll give him. No, I don't want to, but he's making me feel good. Why do I even have to think about this? And very quick volume of emotions that way, as people were spinning, walking by me. It wasn't what they were avoiding, but it was, I think it was, ultimately it was a kind of a deeper kind of fear than what I can even explain right now. A fear, we talk about it in the movie, it's a fear of lack of identity themselves. Is that if this can exist in our world, then it challenges all the touchstones that I have that give me a sense of reality and place.
Testing if the concept would work. That is anti-play. And I didn't know what tribe we're going to do. No clarity on the tribe. So this is chaos from the tribe as a weakness. And that's called play in objective personality. Surprised by tribe's behavior. I was even thinking if this was a playlist than a bloodlust, but then he was again asking someone to explain something because they would explain better than him. That's what we do with our lost animal. We try to outsource it as much as we can because we do not want to do that lost animal. And this was the ST blast. I see that he was he wanted to outsource. Coming to his modalities and his social. For a long time, I thought this was masculine NF, not masculine NT. But you have seen how he was talking about the abstract scenarios which might happen in other people's minds. There was the solidity, there was the masculinity in his mind. He was constantly making these calculations, and you can see that it was very, how we say, abusive force in his mind. And then we already established that this was introverted feeling, not extroverted feeling. And why is he so aware of the quick volume of emotions, the change in the emotions in the moment around him? Why is that? It is because he is very receptive about feelings, and that is called feminine feelings in objective personality. About his social, If this can exist in our world, then it challenges my sense of reality in the universe. That feels like this is a number 3, maybe, with all the protest energy as well. Like the minute he has the chance, he will protest. He will protest about Tibet. He will protest about Palestine. He will protest. He will be there for the people. But the first thing that comes is like, I had a way, and we just established he has feminine feelings, so introverted feeling is feminine, and introverted sensing, I believe, is also feminine because we see masculine entity. So he has feminine sleep. Why is he have such a strong way of things? A way of things is called sleep in objective personality. So it is the frustration with the outside world that it's not matching what the world should be in his point of view. That points me to a number 3. So my subjective typing guess for Richard Gere is an ISTJ jumper. We do not see this type a lot, and it took me quite some time to figure out his type. In objective personality, his type would be a visual, SI, sleep consume, play, bloodlust, number 3. This is what I see him as, allegedly. So he was out there for Tibet, and he didn't care if he got banned. He is also out there for Nelson Mandela. He's also out there for Palestine. He's out there for human rights. He's always out there. This is telling me that he has quite a strong moral grounding. So this stacking of values done in the right way, this was making him go out there every time. Yeah, a great type. What should I say? So, see you next time. Hello, my friend. I'm looking for people like me. If you enjoy the content I put out there, please do like and subscribe and be in this community. I am trying to build a community for people like me, for people who need this place where they can be exactly as they are, and kind of an incubator for self-actualization. That's what I'm trying to achieve. I have recently started a project called Little Tail. I'm hoping to see you there. I'm hoping to have our group sessions where we explore objective personality coins in a playful way. This is how we're going to be using our play to get to our sleep. And we will have the sense of community, a community where we are welcomed. We don't have to deal with all the negative stereotyping and so on. So if you're interested in a community, a supportive, collaborative community like that, please consider joining me in social media wherever you're watching this. Please come as you are. You're always going to be welcomed here. I also wanted to mention that I started typing people, so if you like my subjective opinion or your type, you can reach out to me on social media. And also I have this program. If you have a small group of people where you would like to explore team building activities, I would definitely suggest trying out my new program, Story Circle Sessions. So that might be really something that everybody would enjoy and grow together and have amazingly good bonds together. Take care.